Yeah, I think that we're seeing a very strong market, as you know, as your data represents, and I'd expect we're going to see that for some time yet. As you say, in August, we saw an increase of over 1% on average across the Australian cities, and that's after a peak back in March of this year. And the forecasts are that 20% or so for this year and at least another 7 or 8% for next year. So it's got a way to go.
It's a real push and pull though, isn't it? Because on the one hand, you have some of the negatives, like, for example, no immigration. So we don't have the population growth contributing to demand. On the other side, you've got things like rising building material prices, which is, of course, feeding into potentially lower supply of construction and naturally supply disruptions to boot. Which one do you think is going to win out longer term?
Well, I think the no immigration piece is actually very important, and really no one in Australia knows when immigration will start again. It's been an important feeder into the property market for decades, as you'd appreciate. One of the other really important factors is the historically low interest rates in Australia at the moment. That is causing people to look at building a home or purchasing a home, sometimes for the first time. And I think that's a really strong factor in the market that will keep driving the market for some time to come.
What's going to happen to our CBDs? You know, people are working from home increasingly. People have flocked also to the regions because they can work from other locations. Is this going to be the death knell for the vibrancy of Australian CBDs? Or do you think people are eventually going to get bored with the regions and come back?
I think the CBDs will eventually come back, Mandy, but it's going to be some time yet. As you know, in Australia, we've got ongoing lockdowns at the moment in Sydney, Melbourne and Canberra. And clearly the CBDs of those cities are ghost towns at the moment. But we've seen it before. After lockdowns, people do eventually start coming back to the CBDs. So I think we'll see that again, even though it might be a number of months away. And in terms of regional moves, yes, there's been many people who have bought property or moved into the regions of Australia. Will they get bored? We'll have to wait and see. I think it depends on where they've bought.